His name is Thomas Alva Edison, and one of his important saying is there. You can see, and the saying is, your oath consists in what you are and not in what you have. What is your oath? Oath মানে value. So তাহলে তোমার মূল্যটা কোথায়? Your oath will be in what you are. That means you are a student. That is your oath. You are a debater. That is your oath. You can speak English well. That is your oath. Okay. You can debate properly. That is your oath. Or you can make a good result. You can get GPA 5. That is your oath. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So, and your oath of course will be consistent মানে নিহিত রয়েছে কোথায় what you are. তুমি কে, তোমার কি আছে, তোমার কি আছে মানে তোমার চারপাশে কি আছে সেটা না, তোমার ভিতরে কি আছে, what is inside you, what is inside your brain, or what you can show from them. Okay, so let's see, you can answer them perhaps, and you are most welcome here. And just write down one of the most important or most fearful thing that you are afraid of. এমন একটা জিনিসের কথা লিখো যা তুমি ভয় পাও তোমার, যেহেতু as I am a teacher and I am just going for your studies, so that thing must be related to your studies. পড়ালেখা সংক্রান্ত হবে বিষয়টা, and write down a thing that you are afraid of. So এই পড়ালেখার মধ্যে এমন কি জিনিস আছে যা তুমি খুব ভয় পাও? I was afraid of one thing, of study related thing, that is, you see, test. And test is the thing that everybody is afraid of while he is a student. Okay, we'll start from this test. Okay, and you see the sentence, test is the most fearful incident. So why we are more dangerous than the devil himself. Right, absolutely. So test is the most fearful incident, and সবাই তোমরা accept করছো বা সবাইতে এটাকে agree করছো। আচ্ছা, agree করলে তাহলে দেখো, test is the most fearful incident. So this is a superlative degree. This is called a superlative degree. Okay, perhaps you see, test is the most fearful incident. This is a superlative degree. Okay, just now please make it comparative degree. Okay, right answer, you see, a test is more fearful than any other incident. Test is more fearful than any other incident, and your answers are correct. So this is called comparative degree, and now you have to write a positive degree. Thank you. You see, the correct answer is, no other incident is so fearful as test, and this is called a positive degree. This is called a positive degree. That's good. So you look at this sentence, and here you see the meaning of these three sentences are same. Test is most fearful incident. পরীক্ষা হচ্ছে সবচেয়ে ভীতিকর ঘটনা, and test is more fearful than any other incident. Test অন্য যে কোনো ঘটনা থেকে বেশি ভীতিকর, আর no other incident is as fearful as test, মানে অন্য কোনো ঘটনাই টেস্টের মতো fearful না. That means all these three sentences contain the same meaning, but their structures is different, because in the first sentence we have used the plus superlative degree, in the second sentence we have used comparative, then plus any other, and the third sentence we have used no other. And this changing one sentence into another without changing their meaning is called transformation of sentence. That means changing one sentence into another without changing meaning is called transformation of sentence, and this transformation of sentence is completely based on your comparison of adjectives. And perhaps you guess that your today's topic is transformation of sentence. And this topic is sometimes very tough or difficult and fearful to some of the students. Okay, let's see. The most important part of this lesson is here. That means we have to keep in memory some of the very important points of transformation of sentence, especially of this part of comparison of adjectives. Okay, so these important parts, these parts are sometimes I call it a software that you have to keep it in your memory, if you cannot keep it in your memory, you cannot work it, as no machine can be run without the software. And of course you cannot run this thing of transformation of sentence in your memory if you are lacking this rules or the software. So be careful about it. And the first one, you see that you have to keep in memory that the plus superlative is equal comparative than plus any other and no other. So the first one is superlative degree, and second one is comparative, and third one is positive degree. So I will give you one example for it. For example, he is the tallest boy in the class, and just to make it comparative, you have to say he is taller than any other boy in the class. And you see I am following these rules, okay? And then you have to use no other, and there the answer will be no other boy in the class is so tall as he. That means we get the answer here. Of course the plus superlative, comparative than plus any other, এবং no other use করেছি, okay? And then if we go to the next rule, there you will see the plus superlative of all, the plus superlative of all, and in that case comparative than plus all other বসবে, and you have to use no other again. So be careful, what is the difference between these two sentences, two rules? The first one is there is of all, this phrase is of all, it's present in this rule, but of all টা আগের সেন্টেন্সে কিন্তু ছিল না। তাহলে এই যে দেখো ওখানেও দা প্লাস সুপারলেটিভ, এখানেও দা প্লাস সুপারলেটিভ, সো ডিফারেন্স হচ্ছে যে অফ অল। তাহলে অফ অল যদি থাকে, then what the change you will bring in comparative degree? So there we have brought all other, there we have brought all other. So the plus superlative of all, if there is there, so we have to make it comparative by using subject verb comparative then plus all other, and you have to use positive degree, in positive degree no other, right? So almost the same, the difference is only one here, one is here, any other, all other, and there is the plus superlative only, but there is of all. So one example for it, we can say he is the tallest of all boys in the class. Okay, he is the tallest of all boys in the class. Just to make it comparative, he is subject and verb we have to use. He is taller than all other boys in the class. And no other use করবে, but one thing, no other boy in the class is as tall as him, অথবা as tall as him. That's why you are using no other here. Next, the third one is that if there is one of the plus superlative, in that case we will have to use comparative then plus most other, and in that, just to make it simple, we have to use very few. If I give this example like that, Dhaka is one of the largest cities in Bangladesh, okay? That means we have to make it comparative using most than plus most other. That means Dhaka is larger than most other cities in Bangladesh, okay? And positive degree, very few cities in Bangladesh are as big as Dhaka, okay? So these rules are somehow be different from the other ones, because there is one of the plus superlative. Everywhere in superlative degree we will use the plus superlative. Here is of all, and here is one of the. So for one of the, here we will have to use most other, but here we have used all other. So the difference is there only, any other, all other, and most other. So be careful, just this very insignificant difference is there. I will say this is insignificant, not so important thing that is not for you. Actually, it's impossible for you to keep it in your memory. এটা মনে রাখা যে অসম্ভব কিছু, সেটা আমি বলছি না। সো খুব সহজ কথা, সেটা হচ্ছে যে any other, all other এবং most other. So তিনটা আমরা কোথায় বসে সেটা জানি, no other are very few, very simple. And the last one you see, comparative than plus NP. So this time there is no superlative degree, because in superlative degree there must be more than two persons, okay? দুইয়ের বেশি থাকতে হবে, then we can make it superlative degree, as there is the comparison takes place between subject and NP, that is after then. so two persons are there. So in that case any other, all other, most other এটা হবে না, and you cannot make the superlative degree here. So just to make it positive, you have to bring the NP first, and then you have to make the verb negative or affirmative. You can use both, because you have to see whether the given statement is affirmative, then you have to make it negative. If the given statement is negative, then you have to make it affirmative. Okay, as also positive degree as in subject. Okay, simply 4 rules that is I sometimes call it a software, and you have to keep it in your memory. If you cannot install this software in your memory, then it's not possible for you to go on to proceed on for the further rules and the exceptional rules. Okay, I think this is the foundation of your degree or transformation of sentence of this part, and you will just try to keep it in your memory. The plus superlative, comparative, than plus any other এবং no other. তারপরে the plus superlative of all, comparative, than plus all other এবং no other. One of the plus superlative, comparative, than plus most other are very few. The subject verb comparative, comparative, than plus NP, NP-টাকে আগে আনবো, ভার্বটাকে affirmative অথবা negative, positive so অথবা as positive degree, as এবং subject. তাহলে এই যে রুলসটা মনে রাখা, এটা আসলে কিন্তু খুব বেশি কঠিন কিছু না. Okay, if you cannot do that, it will be really so tough for you. So let's try, and this is your turn now, and you are ready with your pen and paper, or you are ready with your mobile phones, that you have to write the answer very fast. And here you see the picture, and I will just go for this picture. A sentence is there. You see Cox's Bazar is the longest sea beach in the world. So here you see Cox's Bazar is the longest sea beach in the world. This is called a superlative degree. You have to make the comparative degree, okay, from the superlative sentence. Cox's Bazar is the longest sea beach in the world, because here we see the comparison to its supreme, একদম মানে চূড়ান্ত কম্পারিজন হচ্ছে, মানে কক্সবাজারের মতো আর কোন সি বিচ ততটা লম্বা নেই, তার মানে কক্সবাজার is the longest sea beach in the world. Okay, that's why this is a superlative degree, and you have to make it comparative degree. I want to see you are writing, perhaps you write down the comparative form. First rule, and here you see there is the plus superlative degree, and if in the superlative degree there is the plus superlative, there is no of all, there is no one of. Be careful, there is no of all and there is no one of. So just to make it comparative, you will have to use comparative, then plus any other. That means subject, the Cox's Bazar, is verb, comparative longer than any other, than the rest of the sentence. Okay, sea beach in the world, and that's your answer is correct. So if you cannot just know the rule, what the rule is here working, right, what software is here working, so if you don't know that, then it will be very tough really for you to reform these sentences, right? So that's good. If you know the plus superlative থাকলে সেখানে comparative, then plus any other বসাতে হবে, and this is very easy answer. And just to make it positive, and you know how to make it positive, because you have to use no other. You have to use no other. That's good. You have to use no other. Okay, see, no other sea beach in the world is so long as Cox's Bazar, and that's the right answer. You have to use no other. No other sea beach in the world is, and this is the rule that comes from the first one, you see. And the plus superlative, if there is superlative degree, just to make it comparative, you have to use comparative, then plus any other, and just to make it positive, you have to use no other. Very simple thing. Okay, I'm going next for you, and here you see your most favorite game is here. So cricket is the most popular of all games in our country. This is a superlative degree. First you have to identify what's the degree, what's the degree of the sentence, or the sentences in which form of degree. Okay, so you look at this. Cricket is the most popular, so the plus superlative, so it is in the superlative form, and there you will have to see the plus superlative এর আশেপাশে আর কিছু আছে কিনা, যেমন one of আছে কিনা, যেমন of all আছে কিনা. You have to look for these phrases. Here we see, right, there is of all, there is of all. So you please make it comparative. You see your answer is there, right, and your answer is correct. Comparative, cricket is more popular than most other games in our country. cricket is more popular than most other games in our country. Their comparative is subject verb comparative then plus all other and the rest of the sentence. Yes, if you know the rule, the plus superlative of all থাকলে comparative then plus all other বসাতে হবে. So এটা জানা থাকলে আর কারো কোনো সমস্যা হওয়ার কথা না. Okay, and just to make it a positive degree, here you see you have to use no other. Be careful. One of the thing that after no other you can use singular or plural. If you use singular, then you have to use the singular verb. If you use plural, you have to use the plural verb. Okay, so be careful about it. So I am using no other game in our country. Then you have to use is. And if you are writing no other games in our country, so in that case you will have to write down are. Okay, you see, no other games in our country, তখন হবে are. Be careful about it. So after no other you can use both singular and plural. If you are using a singular noun, then you have to use a singular verb. If you are using a plural noun, then you have to use a plural verb. So this is the very important and silly mistake that you are often making, right? And after that, I think after this class you will not make this mistake. Okay, and probably this is a good habit that you love it, of course. And what is this? What is the name of this habit? Perhaps you can look at a picture and can say, yes, you love to read books, right? Yes, I'm just making a sentence here. Reading books is one of the most precious habits. And this is a superlative degree, and you have to make it comparative and positive. You please write down the answer, make it comparative and positive. Books is one of the most precious habits. So one thing, do you have a question like that? Reading books is a plural noun. So after is বসিয়েছি, so is it the correct sentence or not? এই সেন্টেন্সটা কি ঠিক আছে কি নেই? So what do you think? Is it a correct sentence? যে reading books is হবে না আর হবে আসলে? Of course this sentence is correct, no doubt, because this is a phrase, and this phrase is called a gerund phrase because there is a verb plus ing word, and the verb plus ing word, when it is used as a noun, this is called a gerund, and this is a gerund, and there is another word, so this is called a gerund phrase, and it has been used as a subject. It has been used as a subject, and whenever your subject is a phrase, clause, infinitive and gerund, then it must be singular. You may have plural nouns there, but after that you will have to use as a singular subject, okay, in your sentence. That's good. Okay, and just to make it comparative, yes, you are writing the correct answer. Your answers are correct there. So reading books is more precious than most other. You have to use most other. Very simple thing. There is one of plus the plus superlative, and you have to use comparative then plus most other, right? Comparative then plus most other. I think it's very simple, and you perfectly have written the right answer. Thank you very much. So this is the thing that you have to keep in mind. If you can do that, of course you must get the answer there. And then another, you see, very few habits are as precious as reading books. So in this sentence, your sentence is correct. So we have used very few, and absolutely very few is the correct answer. And one thing that you have to be careful, if there is in the superlative degree one of the plus superlative, then you have to use very few, or if there is in the comparative then plus most other, then just to make it positive you have to use very few, and this is very important that you have to keep in mind, and probably you know it. Good, very good. So this time, very few habits are as precious as reading books. Your answers are correct. But of course there you have to use a subject verb agreement is the most important thing whenever you are writing a sentence. Anywhere you are writing a sentence, so look at the subject and verb agreement. Whatever the sentence is, you are writing in transformation, you are writing in completing sentence, wherever you are writing a sentence, be careful about subject verb agreement. You can never say they is going to school, can you? You can never say it. But of course you have to say they are going to school. Example for rule number 4 here, you see, a plane flies faster than birds. A plane flies faster than birds. And here you see there is no any other, all other or most other. So after then we have here a noun, right? That is called words. So here you see birds. So birds is the NP, and you have to make it a positive degree. Okay, are you ready? And please write down. Hurry up. একটু খেয়াল করো যে আমাদের রুলসটা হচ্ছে যে সাবজেক্ট ভার্ব কম্পারেটিভ দেন প্লাস এনপি। তো এটা থাকলে আমাদের এনপিটাকে সামনে নিয়ে যেতে হবে, ভার্বটাকে অ্যাফার্মেটিভ অথবা নেগেটিভ করতে হবে। মানে স্টেটমেন্টটা যদি অ্যাফার্মেটিভ থাকে তাহলে ভার্বটা নেগেটিভ হবে, আর যদি এটা নেগেটিভ থাকে ভার্বটা তখন অ্যাফার্মেটিভ হবে। সো ভেরি সিম্পল। সো উইল টেক বার্ডস as a subject in the next sentence. তো আমি নিয়ে যাচ্ছি, তাহলে এটা যদি আমি এভাবে নিয়ে যাই বার্ডস, তখন আমাদের ভার্বটাকে নেগেটিভ করার কথা। সো ইন দ্যাট কেস ফ্লাইজ কে আমি যদি নেগেটিভ করি তাহলে সেটা ডাজ নট ফ্লাই হওয়ার কথা, তাই তো? ডাজ নট ফ্লাই হওয়ার কথা। ফ্লাইটাকে আমাদের কি হলো যে am I right? Am I wrong? কারণ এখানে বলছে যে দেনের পরে যেটা থাকবে সেটাকে আমি সামনে নিয়ে যাব। আমি তো রুলস যেটা বলছি সেভাবেই কিন্তু পরিবর্তনটা করছি। তোমরা লক্ষ্য করো যে আমি দেনের পরে যে ওয়ার্ডস যেটা ছিল সেটাকে আমি সাবজেক্ট হিসেবে নিয়ে গেলাম। ওকে ফাইন। তারপরে ভার্বটাকে আমার নেগেটিভ করতে বলা হচ্ছে। তো ফ্লাইজ ভার্বের সাথে এস বা ইয়ের যোগ থাকলে আমার সাধারণত ডাজ নট বসে। সো ভেরি সিম্পল, আমি ডাজ নট ফ্লাই বসলাম। তারপরে সো ফাস্ট অ্যাজ এ প্লেন, সো অ্যাজ ইউজুয়ালি আমি এটা বসিয়ে দিলাম। এবং এই সেন্টেন্সটার মধ্যে হোয়াটস ইউর মিস্টেক দেন? সো ইউ সি, তোমরা হয়তো এখানে what is the mistake in this sentence? Please write down. So I'm mistaken perhaps. Okay, I'm sorry. So আমি এটা কেটে দিচ্ছি। So it's wrong. Okay, তোমরা যেহেতু বললে এটা ঠিক নেই তাহলে আমি এটা কেটে দিলাম। ওকে, তাহলে এটা doesn't হবে না। So birds don't have the ability to fly faster than planes. আচ্ছা, ওকে। সো ডাজন্ট হবে না বিকজ অ্যাকর্ডিং টু গ্রামার আমাদের নিয়মটা কিন্তু ঠিক আছে। দ্য রুল দ্যাট আই টোল্ড ইউ যে দেনের পরের অংশ আগে নিয়ে যাবো, ভার্বটাকে নেগেটিভ করবো, সো বা অ্যাজ বসাবো, পজিটিভ ডিগ্রি বসাবো, অ্যাজ বসাবো, সাবজেক্ট বসাবো। সো অ্যাকর্ডিং টু রুল দিস সেন্টেন্স ইজ কারেক্ট। বাট আমরা দেখছি যে এখানে যে সাবজেক্ট আর ভার্বটা আমরা বসাচ্ছি সেটা এগ্রি করছে না, এগ্রিমেন্টটা হচ্ছে না, দ্যাটস ওয়াই ইটস রং। তাহলে এটা আমি যদি ডোন্ট দিয়ে লিখি তাহলে কিন্তু আমার হওয়ার কথা বার্ডস ডোন্ট ফ্লাই সো ফাস্ট অ্যাজ এ প্লেন, রাইট? Birds don't fly so fast as a plane. So in this sentence, our subject-verb agreement is okay. Birds এর পরে do not fly আমি বসিয়েছি as fast. কিন্তু as it is a part of transformation, as you have to know, there will be no change of meaning. So if you write down this the sentence, birds do not fly as fast as a plane. So in that case, it means that পাখিরা একটা প্লেনের মতো উড়ে না। উড়ে না মানে হচ্ছে কি, এটা উঠতে পারে। ফর এক্সাম্পল, আই ডু নট বাই এ ফোন, বাই এ মোবাইল ফোন, মানে আমি একটা মোবাইল ফোন কিনি না। তার মানে এটার অর্থ কি, আমার মোবাইল ফোন কেনার অ্যাবিলিটি আছে কিন্তু আমি আসলে কিনি না। আর আমি যদি বলি যে আই ক্যান নট বাই এ মোবাইল ফোন, তাহলে কি হবে, আই ডু নট হ্যাভ দ্য অ্যাবিলিটি টু বাই এ মোবাইল ফোন। আসলে মোবাইল ফোন কেনার আমার সামর্থ্যই নেই, সো আমি কিভাবে কিনবো? তো এই ধরনের একটা হচ্ছে যে যেটা অ্যাবিলিটির ব্যাপার, আর একটা এমনি কোনো কাজ করা হয় না সেটা বোঝাচ্ছে। তাহলে এখানটা লক্ষ্য করো যে পাখিরা চেষ্টা করলেও কিন্তু দে ডোন্ট হ্যাভ দ্যাট অ্যাবিলিটি, and Junsho absolutely written the right thing. That means birds do not have that ability to fly faster than a plane. প্লেন থেকে ওড়ার সামর্থ্যই নেই। That means সামর্থ্যের ক্ষেত্রে আমরা ক্যান ব্যবহার করে থাকি। ওকে, that's why this answer is again wrong. So absolutely your answer will be there. The birds cannot fly as fast or so fast as a plane. So this is a very important thing here. The only difference is that you have to use cannot, but this is an exception, right? But most of the cases you have to use the opposite verb, okay, and negative verb. I will have to finish the class. So thank you very much thank you for attending the class, and thanks for your participation.